Take 5 strangers
Go in it, get yourself for $1.
who'd like to think they can cook.
I'm gonna cry.
Have them each host a dinner party.
I just felt this swipe down my leg.
It was like a herd of wizards.
And awkwardly score each other.
7.
Superb effort.
Sit back and watch this 5-night culinary competition.
Bring on the food.
It's gonna be filthy.
Where one winner will take out $2,000.
She did mention she wanted chocolate this evening.
Last night's host was 36-year-old administrator and penguin impersonator Anushka. Her food was,
I would have definitely added a little bit more kapow.
I expected a lot more.
But while her food might have been blah, Anushka's entertainment was yeah!
I think I've set the bar high. How do you top a brass bed?
Giving her a solid score of 30 out of 40. Hoping to turn up the heat tonight is Victoria Neely, a 60-year-old homemaker. But what does she make of her much younger guests?
The highlight of the evening is that I'm not dining with a bunch of morons. Because really, oh, well, thick people really annoy me.
That's lucky because Victoria is the host of tonight's party.
See these things?
In Mangere Bridge, there's a bridge there. Victoria has a passion for the old-fashioned. Old-fashioned cleaning techniques seem kind of counterintuitive, you ask me.
The old-fashioned domestic science really interests me. It can be as simple as using used tea leaves to clean your carpet.
And old-fashioned cooking.
I adore old cookbooks. I've got more than I should have. They're hidden all over the house. They're in cupboards all over the house.
She's just that old-fashioned type of person.
I tell you a terrible secret. I don't actually know what twerking is. I think it's waving your bottom at people.
So, are you up for some twerking from Victoria tonight, Natasha?
From Victoria, I am expecting motherly food because she's quite motherly.
Makes sense.
She keeps Calvin in check.
There's one more to come.
Ah, yes, Calvin, the 30-year-old actor from the United States, who's taken quite a shine to Natasha.
It tastes blacker than me.
What does that taste like?
You want to find out?
He is a loose unit.
I feel like there could be some concerns with Calvin tonight, but we'll see. Hopefully I won't have to listen to his flirtatious comments. That would be ideal.
You better get some earplugs.
I think you're going to see the usual Kelvin, you know, just the usual me, you know, one-on-one.
One-on-one, classic Calvin.
Intuitive, intrigued, slightly flirtatious. You're going to get the flirtatious side of me, as usual.
Vintage pin-up girl Charlotte is enjoying herself so far. Probably because she's avoided Calvin.
Last night's dinner party was amazing. I had a really good time. I loved her theme. I am hoping tonight that it lives up to last night, but I'm not sure. Victoria's might be a little bit more quieter.
But can you take her down?
I would rate my chances of winning this week as a good chance.
Back to tonight, and Victoria is starting on her entree.
That's what I was afraid of. Out, out. Shoo, shoo. She's the naughtiest kitten.
You know what they say, cats in the kitchen, shepherd's delight. Her entree is Sonia's mussels. I don't know why it's called that, it's Victoria making it. Mussels, covered in a crumbed herbed butter, served with spicy tomato salsa.
I'm not really a fan of mussels unless I've had a couple of drinks.
I'm sure that can be arranged.
Looks like a main for me. There's a lot of food on there for an entree.
And there's still 2 dishes to come. Victoria places the mussels on the half shell and covers them with panko, herb and butter mix. Later, she'll bake them for 15 minutes before serving.
I have no concerns about seafood because I have other elements on the entree. People can munch on them if they're not happy with the mussels as a starter.
That old Kiwi classic. Quantity over quality.
Right.
I'm actually quite a small eater. I eat quite small portions. Normally I would never go into dinner eating like a big chunk of meat.
Do not look at this, Natasha. Because tonight's main is great Auntie Moo's lamb. Lamb strips on Moroccan couscous served with vegetable croquettes and dressed salad.
Moo. I hear moo and I think of cow milk.
I want to know who Great Auntie Moo is. I feel like I need to know who this person is.
Victoria marinates lamb backstraps in a homemade mint sauce. The recipe came from one of her countless old-fashioned cookbooks. However, this old-fashioned cook has also been doing a bit of modern research.
I've Googled twerking. I know what twerking is now.
Because Calvin's reenactment yesterday wasn't terrifying enough.
I'm not sure I should be watching when it's done, but if he can do that, he's a very supple young man.
Note she said supple, not subtle. There is nothing subtle about Calvin, except for his legs, which are camouflaged, which means you can't see them.
Now, would you like to see me stuff a profiterole? I am naughty, aren't I? You won't believe I go to church on Sunday. Oh, God, I'm going to be excommunicated.
I don't know what that means, but you're also in big trouble for your titles, which are terrible. This is Mum's famous not rice pudding, which is a vanilla panna cotta served with homemade profiteroles, stuffed with a lemon passion fruit and cream mix.
Yeah, I feel like I'm going to be very full after this menu.
Yep, that is one of the primary objectives of eating.
This is the 4th attempt at profiteroles, and they need to be left in the oven for a long time, and then you pop a knife into them, and then you leave them to dry in the oven, similar to a meringue, but I'm a little disappointed in them. I think I could do better, but I've run out of time.
Thank goodness Victoria pre-made the panna cottas and had them waiting in the fridge. Bring on the lemon passion fruit and cream mix.
See, that's what a profiterole is supposed to look like.
Great. Hopefully the rest are the same.
No, I only have one. So who's the lucky recipient?
I just pray the rest of them are hungry, because Natasha certainly isn't, and this is a cooking-based show. Coming up, someone's fizzing at the bung. Inappropriate dinner outfits.
Oh, you look amazing.
I feel pretty dapper.
And slightly inappropriate behaviour.
What is he doing with his feet?
Tonight's dinner party takes place in Mangere Bridge, and host Victoria is busy putting the finishing touches on a lavish-looking dining table.
I am feeling very nervous.
Cheer up, Victoria. What's the worst that could happen? Quite a lot on this show.
They're here. Hi. I'm so glad you're first.
Oh, thank you.
Good to see you. Lovely. Up the stairs, please, my darling.
Victoria kind of laid everything out perfectly. Like, I felt like I was on the set of Titanic, but it was like in a house.
Thank you.
Well, I hope the dinner party isn't sunk by a giant profiterole.
I'm hoping to give you champagne as soon as someone knows how to take the tops off the bottles.
I can try if you want. Oh, here we go. I'm just gonna go everywhere. I'm gonna look like an idiot.
Never.
You haven't shaken it, have
No,
you?
I haven't. I haven't.
Okay.
I haven't.
On second thoughts,
It's quite nerve-wracking, isn't it?
speaking of bubbly, here's next guest Charlotte, a vision in her retro attire.
Hello.
Oh, wow. Oh, you look amazing.
Thank you.
Welcome. Welcome. Up the stairs, my darling.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Yes, welcome.
Hi. How are you?
I'm good.
Good.
Good. Yeah. This place is amazing.
It's so nice, isn't it?
I really like the way that Vic's decorated her house. I really like all of the old stuff.
Of course you do.
I'm a bit of a sucker for old lamps, so...
Oh, everyone loves a good lamp.
Now, do you want to sit with Kelvin tonight?
How about we give someone else a chance?
A chance? How very generous.
See, if you sit opposite him, you've got to look at him.
I know, it's like a lose-lose situation.
Wow. Even I haven't been described as a lose-lose situation.
I think Victoria's taken the role of keeping him in check, making sure us girls are all right.
Speak of the devil.
Oh, my.
are you? How are you?
I'm good. Oh, you look amazing.
It's one word for it.
I feel pretty dapper.
That's another.
Pretty gorgeous. It's not real, is it?
And as Victoria weirdly pats him, Calvin's tactic becomes clear.
I found someone and he's tall, dark and handsome.
First is I. I've come all the way from Narnia with my fur to ravish you ladies.
Write it down. He's come all the way from Narnia with his fur to ravish you ladies.
I felt very royal family-like. The wind was blowing past my hair, my mustache flared. I felt like I was in all my glory.
I didn't even know you had a mustache. Ah, you think you know someone. Let's launch this Titanic out to sea.
You've got a bit of a pimp look going on, like the chang.
Smooth.
What was the idea?
He's hanging out with all
Figured
the
you would come
ladies.
glamorous and maybe I should have a drink.
Yeah.
Maybe we all should.
With Natasha, I'll try to tone it down just a little. I'll do my best to hold those horses back.
Never mind the horses, mate. Here's a lady who's dressed as a bee.
I love it. You look
Looks like we're off the Titanic and onto Noah's Ark. Can I just say that I love this program?
He wants to be stinged. Sting.
Yeah, stinged is not a word.
Anushka's costume baffled me.
This coming from the Lion King.
I can see she's an eccentric lady.
Look at you.
Why the bee outfit? It's just a fun outfit. I found it at garage sale for $1. Who wouldn't love that?
Ah, $1. Bargain.
right. I'll let you choose where you like to go and sit down.
Thank you.
Oh no. Victoria's leaving the girls to play Calvin Roulette. In the safety of the kitchen, Victoria finishes off her entree, toasting a homemade bread, then plating her tomato salsa. But not everyone's going to get a plate.
Calvin drank his shot glass of dipping sauce last night. He can have another shot glass tonight.
How devious. The mussels then come out of the oven and the chorizo comes off the grill. Her entree is complete, Sonia's mussels.
Mussels and chorizo.
That'll definitely be a first for me.
I don't think I've ever tried either.
Wow. We've got more shot glass.
Shot glass.
Yeah, I guess that's how we start this meal.
Yeah.
It's like grace. It's our grace.
Exactly.
Yeah, nothing says grace like a shot of slightly spicy salsa.
We're here. It's a challenge. I'm a man. Let's do it. No, they keep bringing it on. I'm gonna bring it on them. Little do they know.
What? Something put you off your food, Natasha?
You don't have to eat every crumb.
But I want to.
Do you really?
The mussels just felt really rubbery. I was mostly eating breadcrumbs, I think, the whole time.
I thought the entree had a lot going on, but that's just me.
Was it buzzy?
I'm pretty hungus and I didn't have much lunch, so I ate the whole damn thing really fast.
I just like food.
Don't we all?
Could you please tell us all one surprising fact about you that perhaps we wouldn't know?
Often you ask questions that you don't want the answers to.
I really like watching forensic files.
Don't say it, Charlotte.
Like, I like creepy murder scenes and gross photos. I really like gross, just stuff like that.
I
Like,
did warn you.
I think Charlotte has a deep, dark side.
I'd sit there with my biscuits and my cup of tea and I just dunk my biscuits and watch serial killer stuff.
I really hope you mean on television.
They think I'm like a secret serial killer. I'm not, I promise. I just really like looking at blood and stuff.
Back in the kitchen, Victoria sears the lamb straps, then strains the couscous and dresses the simple cucumber and carrot salad. With that, her main, Great Auntie Moo's lamb, is complete.
It can get it real good.
I like that.
You what?
Nothing.
Well, what's going on here exactly?
It's called Great Auntie Moo's lamb because Great Auntie Moo always did a roast lamb on a Sunday.
Riveting stuff, but Natasha's not listening.
So I'm sitting there eating my main and I just felt this like swipe down my leg. I think he winked at me.
He tried to wink. he didn't nail it.
Oh, what do you do?
What is he doing with his feet?
He keeps footsying me. It's so annoying.
No, I swear to you, she's been hitting me with her hoof since we sat down here. I felt the bond, so I stuck my leg out too.
There was no bond, but kicking.
Now. Come along.
She did mention she wanted chocolate this evening.
Well, that'll put you off your meal. Back to the actual food, please, people.
Victoria's main was quite nice. The lamb was a bit more cooked than what I would personally like, but that's because I like my lamb a bit more red.
Bet Charlotte does too.
The lamb was pretty much some of the nicest lamb I've ever had.
Or maybe not.
In comparison to yesterday, I would say this one, I think it hit the spot a bit more better for me.
This is juicy.
I actually couldn't finish it.
There's a surprise.
I felt a bit sick. I mean, it tasted great, but it was just a lot.
Coming up, Victoria's entertainment baffles.
Stevie Wonder started popping in my mind.
Her dessert titillates.
It looks exactly like a breast.
And it's confession time.
Victoria looked up twerking.
It's the second night of our week-long dinner party, and tonight, Victoria is hosting. After serving up a feast of family recipes, she's now serving up her own husband as the pre-dessert entertainment.
This is my husband Graham and his friend Steve, and they're going to provide our entertainment.
Graham is a comedian?
Steve and I are currently in a small group which specialises in taking real old songs that everybody knows and making them totally unrecognisable.
Classic Graham.
I had a dream the other night. Everything was still.
It was very cool to see the duo. They worked well together.
Susanna, don't you cry. Susanna.
Yeah, I got into it. I got my groove on. I couldn't help myself. I heard the harmonica. Stevie Wonder started popping in my mind.
Go, Steve.
I'm from Alabama with a B-A-N-J-O on my knee.
The old banjo on the knee tells us they've reworked a classic and safely out of copyright, might I add.
I come from Alabama with a B-A-N-J-O on my knee.
I'm like banjo.
Yeah, exactly like a banjo.
Is that going to be on camera?
What do you reckon?
Oh my gosh. It was like the blondest thing I've done.
You're not blonde.
In so long, eh?
Victoria's husband is really adorable. I can just imagine them together, and you can just see that they really love each other. It's really nice.
True, but there's no time for Victoria to bask in her husband's glory. She still has the dessert to dish up.
I'm not going to tip the panna cotta out because it looks exactly like a breast. Our young man down there is quite bad enough without any visual stimulation.
To accompany the panna cotta, she adds her profiteroles and some shortbread, and her dessert is complete. Mum's famous not rice pudding, pudding.
What is not rice pudding? Rice pudding.
Hopefully it's chocolate.
Oh dear, I hope you weren't hoping for chocolate.
So I had a big entree. We had a really, really big main, and then the dessert came out, and I just thought, oh.
Did you make the little biscuits as well?
Yes, yes.
That tiny, tiny biscuit that was supposed to be like a garnish was probably the highlight of the dessert. Like, it was just perfect in every way.
The dessert is not what I would normally eat. It's a texture thing. Not my thing.
Maybe needs more honey? So with the meal concluding, it's time for Victoria to come clean about something slightly unsavoury. Something Calvin has threatened to do, but has yet to follow through with.
Following on from last night, Victoria looked up twerking. It was an interesting experience for an old woman.
I couldn't stop laughing because I just imagined her as like T-W-E-R.
This is ageist right here.
It's a front twerk, I must warn you.
Front twerk.
See, that just to me.
Google front twerk.
Don't go there, Victoria.
Calvin, we never got to what your thing is that you need to expose that nobody else would know about you.
Well,
I think at this point, everyone's kind of looking at each other going, oh, Calvin.
I have a 1-year-old daughter
Whoa,
in Russia.
double whoa. You can lift your jaw and take a sip now, Natasha.
What's her name?
Aurelia.
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 That's a pretty name. Why is she in Russia?
Because her mother's in Russia.
Oh.
His personality totally changed when he was talking about this baby. He was like this loving, passionate father talking about his baby girl. It was really lovely.
That's Aurelia.
Oh, so cute. Oh, it was the sweetest thing I've ever seen. It was just really cute, and to be honest, I didn't expect to see that side of Calvin.
It was a really nice thing to finish on.
Thank
It
you.
was lovely to see your little girl. I want to go to bed. Goodbye.
Victoria, some of them are still eating.
You can take it down the stairs. Go on, move.
She's kicking them out. This is ridiculous.
How I feel about my night is, I'm finished. Oh, I'm so glad that's over. Nobody died.
Unfortunately for the bloodthirsty Charlotte.
Really looking forward to tomorrow night.
Meanwhile, let's hear what your guests thought of your royal family on the Titanic, but like in a house dinner party.
Tonight I'm going to give Victoria an 8, and I want to give her a high score because I loved family history throughout her menu and the stories that she gave us. I think that she definitely deserves this score.
Tonight, I'm gonna give Victoria a 7. I felt the meal could have been a little bit better. The dessert just needed a little bit more oomph.
Tonight I'm giving Victoria a 7. The lamb was a little bit overcooked for my liking. I like it a bit more pink.
Tonight I am giving Victoria a 7. Portion sizes were a little big. This was quite hard for me because I do really, really like her, and overall I did think it was a great night.
That leaves Victoria with a combined score of 29, which is just 1 point behind Anushka's score of 30 last night. So Victoria's Titanic effort didn't quite win over the punters, but as she said, at least nobody died. Tomorrow night, Natasha cluelessly concocts her 3-course meal.
I've never cooked any of this before, ever. Oh, God.
Entertainment that delights some but not all of the guests.
Ballet dancing caused me to want to die.
And dessert disasters.
Hey, there's a turd in the middle of my ice cream.
Dinner is over.
Oh my God.